Let's see. Well, so funny that I should mention Sokka. Let's talk a little bit about the Avatar universe. Um, from Legend of Korra, I found this week and I thought it was super cute. Some good ways for self-care. Try acupuncture. I can't say I've tried it, but I've heard good things. I love Reiki. Play a game, whether it's by yourself, like we're doing now, or with your kids, or with a friend. Dance it out. Turn on the music. Have some fun. Take a healing bath. Water is so healing for me. It's so helpful. It's very regulating for me. Meditate. I have ADHD. Meditation's a little different for me, but that doesn't mean I can't do it. In my own ways. Get enough vegetables. Eat some salad. Eat some broccoli. Let it all out. Like sometimes we just need to. Treat yourself to a treat. What's your favorite treat? Mine is ice cream. Hit the gym. I haven't done that in a long time, but I would prefer yoga. Oh. All right. Oh. And from one of my faves, it's actually not on here, which I'm not used to. Oh no, it's Self Love Rainbow right there. They're awesome. They're just always colorful and so much wisdom. Foundations of self-love. So we've talked a little bit before about how those of us that grew up with complex trauma, years of having a caregiver who didn't love us in healthy ways, we second guess our lovability. I actually had our youngest tonight ask me what I think about the quote, something along the lines of, before you can love someone else, you must first learn how to love yourself. And while I said that it's really complex, and I think that that's not just like a straightforward all or nothing answer, I do believe that. I believe that you have to be able to love yourself in order to give healthy love. But I do think before you can love yourself, you have to have received healthy love. It's a beget situation, right? We pass it on. And many of us who have had complex trauma, we didn't receive healthy love consistently. Some of us were fortunate to have a few people in our lives growing up that did give us healthy love. It just wasn't the everyday, all day as our primary caregiver, right? And so some of us were able to connect to that, and we're able to pull from that when we have children, when we have the healthy relationships we have, right? And we can cultivate that. We can take what we got from them, even if it was a little bit. Like for me, my therapist really feels, and I agree, that the first 11 months of my life, my mother and I lived with my grandparents, and my grandma was really one of my primary caretakers in those 11 months. And I really believe firmly that that was a very foundational relationship for me. I was very close to my grandma. I actually didn't know that first 11 months thing until a couple years ago. My grandma would come pick me up from daycare sometimes as I got older and keep me for, a couple hours in the afternoon. And I just remember that when she came to pick me up, it mattered so much more to me than when my mom did. She and I were so close. And I think that was a part of my healthy foundation that I was able to have. That doesn't mean I don't still hurt and struggle from the unhealthy part of my foundation that my mom contributed to. But I'm able to draw from this other relationship, right? And so I do believe we have to be able to draw from healthy relationships that are foundational. Some attachment therapists that I don't agree with think that the therapist can be that healthy relationship. And as much as I want to be someone who supports healthy foundation and someone as a therapist, I don't think healthy love is once a week for 1 hour that gets paid to support us. It doesn't mean that my care and my support isn't genuine, but I'm a professional in someone's life, and I had therapists as a kid. They were not part of that foundation. Not really. I think the role of the therapist is to help cultivate the foundation that's there, because I really do believe that most of us had one or two, even if they were inconsistent, loving foundations in our life. Could be to a pet, could be to a grandparent, could be to an aunt or uncle, it could be to a mentor figure. But it was someone who is consistently in our life, not just once a week for an hour. Because that's not healthy love. Love is something that is constant, right? And those of us who have a complex trauma history, man, we have a tendency sometimes to just accept the crumbs that we get. And I want you to want more than what you get out of your therapy. You deserve to be loved in the 24/7. Everyone deserves to be loved and safe in the 24/7. So that you can then give that consistent, safe, loving support to your child or children in your life. Because we all have them, whether we give birth or not. We all have lives that we feed into and are a part of their foundation. All of us. Anyway, so for those of us who have struggled to create that foundation of self-love so that we can give healthy love, and we're working on reparenting ourselves, right? We've talked some about this in previous moments of this. These are some really good areas that are important for us to build on, okay? You gotta have a healthy foundation to build a house on, right? We have to have a healthy foundation for us to build our self-concept on, the way we view ourselves, the way we care for ourselves, the way we then view what we deserve, right? And so these were really great areas, so I thought we'd go over these. Let's start with self-acceptance, because I like purple. Accepting that you do not have to be perfect to be worthy of love. How often in our lives did we experience a feeling of I'm not enough, I'm not good enough to deserve that 24/7 constant, consistent, safe love? Boundaries. Cultivating healthy communication and boundaries in your relationships. Give and take. Balance in that. It's not just you giving, and it's not just you taking. It's got to be balanced in the long run. Self-care. We talked a little bit about this with Cora, right? I talk about this one a lot, right? Especially in this time of pandemic, it's so important. Stress is high. Making the time to meet your own needs as best as you can. Spending time on your hobbies and interests. Doesn't have to be expensive. Playing a video game. Watching TV. Painting your nails. Working on a model car kit. Doing a puzzle. Reading a book. Guys, the libraries have so much free stuff now. They even, they've got comic books. They've got everything. I've heard they've got video games. Find your local library. Find it. I I survived because of my public library growing up. Like, I would get out a stack of like 10 to 12 fiction books a week. I totally dissociated into my fictional stories as a teenager, for sure. Inner voice. Changing the way that you talk to and about yourself. It matters. It really does. Working on the voice in your head, because our voices in our head so often sound like the voices of our unhealthy parents, or our abusers, or those who take advantage of us. You deserve to have an inner voice that is loving and supportive. You do. And self-discovery, learning your own likes. What games do you like? I love Kirby. Avengers was starting to frustrate me, as you could probably tell. Developing goals and hobbies and interests that make you happy. I'm super into plants right now. I may kill them all, but we'll see. I love Comic-Con related stuff. Like, I do cross stitch. I'm actually doing a Kirby cross stitch. It's not in here. I can't even show you. But I finished my Mario one and I've started Kirby. Woo! My little baby Kirby. All right. I tell you what, I gotta get up early in the morning. I really do. I'm going to a training on yoga and trauma and how they affect each other. And so I'm going to have to leave at like so early tomorrow. Like 7:30. I'm usually awake by then, but I'm just making coffee and yeah. My brain doesn't come online till like 10. I'm going to be at the training at 8:30. Yeah. Send me good thoughts that my brain will survive. But it'll be good. And one of my closest friends, who's a therapist too, she'll be there. I haven't seen her in a while. In a little bit. So I'm really excited to go. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, relaxing, restful, full of self-care, and learning to love ourselves again. I believe in that for you. I do. I really do. I have walked that road. I continue to walk it today. Because it's never really over, right? But it does get better. I promise. Hang in there. Have a good weekend, guys. Take care.